Hello everybody, this is MMSMR, and I am back today with another video. It is Thanksgiving here in America, so if you're celebrating, happy Thanksgiving. It's just sort of a holiday where we have dinner, like a turkey dinner, and after Thanksgiving it gets exciting, because that's when the Christmas season officially starts. Christmas is my favorite holiday. But anyway, I thought today I owed you guys some traditional color test. So, what color is this? Orange. What color is this? Yellow. Excellent. What color is this? Green. This? Blue. Yep. And this? Pink. Yes. And how many colors can you see on this object? Well, it's sort of a trick question, because it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because the stalk is white. Alright. What color is this? Black. Excellent. What color is this? Red. What color is this? Yellow. Yes. This? Orange. And this? Green. Yep. This? Purple. And this? Blue. Yes. How about this? Pink. Very good. Which one is skinnier, the yellow or the pink? The pink. Very good. Which one is fatter, the red or the orange? The red. Excellent. Which one is smaller, the blue or the green? The blue. Yep. And which one is larger, the orange or the yellow? The orange. Very good. And now, just going to lay these down. And how many colors do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Excellent. Okay. So, I'm going to trace some shapes. Please tell me what shape I'm tracing. What shape is that? A circle. How about that? A triangle. Yep. A square. Yep. And then I'll do some numbers. What number is that? A 2. Yep. What's that? 9, yep. That 7, yep. 3, yep. And 1, excellent. Now, and then we'll do some letters. All capitals. What letter is that? A, yep. What letter is that? D. What letter is that? Z or Z if you're in England. What's that? A T. What's that? An R. What's that? An F. Very good, very good. So now I have some cards here, and I'm going to ask you some questions to see how intuitive you are. So, this card is black. Is that true or false? True or false? This card is black. 3, 2, 1. False. It was red. True or false? This card is red. True or false? 3, 2, 1. False. This card is black. True or false? This card is a 2. Is this card a 2? True or false? False or true? 3, 2, 1. True. It is a 2. Okay. And true or false? One of these cards is an ace. True or false? One of these cards is an ace. 3, 2, 1. It's true. We have the Ace of Diamonds. And lastly, true or false? This card is greater than the number 10. Is that true or is that false? 3, 2, 1. That's false. It is a 9. So, how did you do? I'm typically not very good at the intuitive test. Alright. So now, because today is Thanksgiving, we're going to play this little gratitude game that came in a Long Island paper known as Newsday. So, there's all these little cards. So I'm going to read out these cards and answer them. But firstly, what is this symbol? It's a pumpkin, yes. And what is the symbol? It's a turkey. This one? It's an acorn. Yep. And what is this one? It's a leaf. Very good. So, overall there's 1, 2, 3, 4 different symbols, even though there's 5 columns. So, I'm going to answer these questions, and hopefully this is relaxing. So, number 1. Name a new Long Island restaurant you want to try, and choose someone at the table to go with. Well, I'm not sitting at a table right now. I can't think of a new restaurant I want to try, but there is this really cool ice cream shop called Hildebrandt's. That's a classic ice cream store, but I've actually never been there, and I really want to go. And I would probably want to go with either my friend James or my friend Monica. Ask any 2 players. Well, I'm playing by myself, so just ask myself. What are 3 things you were looking forward to in 2023? Well, this is pretty easy for me. The first one and the big one is that I hope to finish my PhD in 2023. Could always go to 2024, but I'm really hoping to be done in 2023. So that's the big one. I'm also looking forward to the filming of another one of my short films. And we're filming in May. We're actually planning to film 2, one in May and one in June, with 2 different production companies. And then I'm also looking forward to having at least 1, maybe 2 new plays of mine produced in the city in 2023. So PhD, movies, plays, that's what I'm looking forward to in 2023. Okay. Now, answer, then ask another player. In my case, I'm just playing. Long Island bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches go best on a bagel or a roll. I like sandwiches on a roll much better. The only thing I really like on a bagel is butter. And you guys can feel free to answer any of these questions that you want in the comment section, if YouTube leaves it on. Okay, group card. Who's your most listened to artist this year? I listen to so much music, I can't really say who I listen to the most. So this is really impossible for me to answer. Yeah, I can't really say that there's any one particular artist that I listen to substantially more than others. I did listen a lot to Madonna's Lucky Star earlier in the year because I was writing this outrageous play about a guardian angel and a lucky star who come together to protect this incorrigible human ward. It was this very experimental, strange comedy play, and Lucky Star was sort of my inspiration as I was writing it because of the theme. So I guess I listened to that song more than others in this year, but artist, I can't really say. This one. In your opinion, what is Billy Joel's biggest hit? He's had a lot of hits. He's actually a Long Islander, and he has a really cool motorcycle shop here that I was at recently. It's really cool. But his biggest hit, I honestly can't say. When I was little, I was obsessed with We Didn't Start the Fire. I used to sing it all the time when I was like 3 or 4. Pickleball gained popularity this year on Long Island. What activity did you try for the first time? I went paddleboarding for the first time ever in August, and it was like the best day of my life. It was so much fun, and I definitely want to do it again next year, like when the weather gets warmer. It was so much fun. So paddleboarding is my new activity. I also, for the first time ever, tried goat yoga this year, and it was incredible. It was just awesome. Good card. What's the top of your holiday wish list this year? Actually, I'm going to buy myself a diamond ring with both white gold and yellow gold, so I can wear it every day, because no matter if I'm wearing gold jewelry, like yellow gold jewelry, or silver jewelry, which looks the same as white gold, I can wear the same ring every day. I wasn't going to buy myself this diamond ring until I finished my PhD, which isn't until next year, but I found the perfect ring, and it's a good price, so I'm just going to give in and buy it. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale. I'm actually hoping I can get a sale over the Christmas holidays. I may have to wait till January, but I'm just waiting for the best sale. But that's the top of my wish list, even if I have to wait a little bit after Christmas to get the Best Buy. Okay. What's the biggest lesson you learned this year? This is a really interesting question. I'd say the biggest thing I learned this year was don't limit yourself, because when you try new things, you may discover that not only do you like them, but you may also discover like new aspects of your personality and new aspects of yourself that you never knew were there. So I guess that's the biggest lesson I learned. Don't limit yourself, and don't worry so much about what everyone else is doing, because remember, we all live our own lives, and we all have our own lives, likes and dislikes, and what works for one person might not work for another person. Like one person may be really happy working at home, another may hate working at home and have to go in the office. Some people might want to make it their life's mission to have as many kids as they possibly can, whereas other people decide not to have kids and want to go out and travel. It really just depends on every individual. So don't limit yourself, and don't put yourself in a box, and find your own happiness. Yeah, so I guess that's the biggest lesson I learned this year. Tell the group about a Long Island town you explored for the first time this year. I go out a lot of towns on Long Island. I can't say that I ever really explored a new town for the first time, but I went to goat yoga in Northport, and it was wonderful. And that's a really pretty part of the island that I haven't been to too much. So that was the new part I explored. But it was mostly just driving around to get to the farm to go to the goat yoga. But it was nice. It was a good day. Share your best experience of 2022 so far. So I've actually had a really good year. My best experience was that I actually met my best friend this year in February. So that was awesome. That's definitely the most special thing that happened, because I've never had as much in common with another person as I do with him, and it was just very special to meet somebody who was so like similar to me. So that was definitely the best thing. But then also I have to say, like, the best day this year was probably going paddleboarding, and that actually was with my friend Monica, who's another best friend. I should really say the person I met this year is more like my companion than just a friend. But Monica is like my best girlfriend, and me and her went out paddleboarding with a group, and we had so much fun. And so that was the best experience of 2022 so far. The best day. Best experience was meeting my companion. That was best experience. But the paddleboarding was the best day, I would say, with the goat yoga coming in a close second. But I've had a good year this year. I really have. I can't complain so far. Hopefully things don't completely fall apart in the next couple of weeks. Right here. What food on the Thanksgiving table have you been craving? I really look forward to the stuffing. I love the stuffing. My mother makes it with like cornbread and mushrooms. So I look forward to the stuffing. One fear I overcame this year is, I can't really say I overcame any fears per se. I think I just grew a lot as a person this year. And I realized that it's okay to try like new things I haven't tried before, like paddleboarding, goat yoga. It's just, again, I just not limit myself. But I wouldn't say there really were fears, because I love goats. I'm not afraid of goats. I'm not afraid of the water. I wasn't afraid to go paddleboarding. So this is a tough one. One fear I need to overcome. I have this really horrible, hysterical fear of cockroaches. We don't see them that often. You see them once in a blue moon in the garage. And they can't sting you. They can't bite you. They are more afraid of you than you are of them. Like, they just scurry away. But for some reason, I am hysterically afraid of them. Like, if I see them, I scream, I yell. It's ridiculous. So that's a fear I need to overcome. So I haven't overcome that fear this year, but that's something that I really need to work on in 2023. That should probably be my New Year's resolution, to stop panicking the way that I panic when I see one of these things. Okay. Choose a player to show the group a TikTok dance I learned this year. I cannot dance, and I have not learned any TikTok dances, so I'm not going to get up and dance right now. But I will say that I did find out recently that there's a gym on Long Island that offers this really fun exercise class that involves dancing and trampolines. And my friend Monica and I totally want to go and give it a try. So I suppose I will be learning some new dances in that group. We're planning to go for the first time in December. So again, I didn't learn any dances this year, and they're not TikTok dances, but I will be dancing in that class. So I don't know if that counts, but well. What TV show are you binge watching right now? I need to start 1889. I've heard that's really good, but I haven't started it yet. I started watching this show called Wednesday about Wednesday Addams. It's on Netflix. I'm just into the first episode, but it looks pretty good so far. But I love the Addams Family. Like, my favorite movie is The Addams Family Values, where Uncle Fester marries Debbie, who is a nanny, but who is also like a black widow. She basically marries men to kill them to take their money. And Joan Cusack plays Debbie. The movie's from like 1993 or something. And I love that movie to the point that I can quote Debbie line for line. I can just launch into her end final big speech at any given time. Any place, anywhere, I can launch into that speech. I have it memorized. So I'm a big Addams Family fan, so I'm giving that Wednesday Netflix show a shot. Good card. Who's doing the most Black Friday shopping this year? That's hard to answer. I don't like going to stores on Black Friday, but I do a lot of shopping online. Like, I ordered 2 shirts for myself last night because it was basically free shipping, and the 2 shirts together were actually less than the price that one would normally be, plus the free shipping. So I did that, and then I ordered candy. These like butter toffee things I love, I'm addicted to, that have like chocolate on the outside. They're so good. And then I'm stalking that ring. I'm planning to order that diamond ring online, and I'm stalking it to wait for the prices to go down to where I want it to go. So I'm probably doing Black Friday shopping online, more Black Friday shopping. But yeah, I don't know. There's nobody that really goes crazy on Black Friday in my friends and family group. Okay. So one more page. This page is the last page. Okay, there's only 2 pages of this. Tell the player to the left 3 reasons why you are grateful for him, her, them. So we're going to alter this, and I'm going to tell you guys 3 reasons I'm grateful for you. Number 1, I'm really grateful for all the nice comments that you leave. Number 2, I'm really grateful for the fact that this channel brings you joy and happiness. And thirdly, I'm really grateful that some of you have actually been inspired to start YouTube channels after watching me, because I know I was inspired to start my channel after watching some wonderful ASMRists. So I just feel like it's a really nice circle in our community. So those are 3 things I really am grateful for. As the player to your right, so I'm just going to ask you guys, what tune would be your life theme song? This is a really good question. Now, it would have to be something, there's 3 that could potentially be. The first would be These Boots Are Made for Walking by Nancy Sinatra, because I love boots. I love shoes. I have over 200 pairs of shoes, and I have about 90 pairs of boots. I just got this really cool black and white pair of boots, and oh my god, they're so cute. So that would probably be one. And then, in that same vein, there's a song by Trina, who's a rapper, and it's Long Heels, Red Bottoms, and it's about high heels. And I don't wear high heels that often because the pins hurt my feet. But I wear a lot of like chunky heels, and I wear a lot of wedges. So they're high shoes as well. They're a form of high heel. So that one could also be my theme song. And then there's another song that came out, and I can't remember the name of the artist, but it's a song that I first heard on this TV show called Inventing Anna, and the name of the song is Google Me. And that could also be my life theme song, just because I am on, like, I know you guys don't know my real name, but I'm a published author, I'm a playwright, I've had movies produced, and I also do a lot of, I teach college full-time, but I also work part-time as a journalist. So if you Google my name, it comes up. Like, I'm verified on Google, essentially. And also through my artwork, too. So if you Google me, my name comes up. So that song, Google Me, would probably also, I guess, would also be suitable to me. Okay, and this is the turkey card. Tell the group about a show or movie that tugged at your heartstrings this year. I can't think of any that tugged at my heartstrings in particular this year. I'm trying to think. I've seen movies that I've enjoyed this year, but I can't think of any that tugged at my heartstrings to the point that I got weepy. Yeah, I honestly do not think there was anything this year that had that effect on me. Yeah. Which beach do you think is Long Island's best? This is not fair. There's so many nice beaches. I like Jones Beach, of course, which is like the most famous beach on Long Island. But I also really like this beach called Robert Moses, which is a little further out. That's a nice beach. I was at the beach in July in Robert Moses. I was like in the water for like 3 hours. But this is a tough question. Which former Long Island restaurant or business do you miss the most? Okay, so the business I miss the most is that there used to be this store in this town called Mineola, and it was called For Birds Only. The couple that owned it retired, but I love that store. They had so many. I used to buy my parakeets in there, and they had parakeets, and they had cockatoos, and they had parrots, and you could go in and talk to the birds, and you could actually pet the birds because they were breeders and they wanted the birds to be, they bred some birds, and then they also purchased birds from like certifiable breeders, and they wanted the birds to be friendly, so you could go in and talk to the birds and pet the birds. So I really do miss their business. As far as restaurants go, when I was younger, and I'm 35 years old now, if anybody's wondering, but when I was younger, there was a restaurant out at this mall that's now pretty much empty, but it was called the Source Mall in Westbury, and there was a restaurant there called the Rainforest Cafe, and just like you might imagine, it was all like rainforest themed, and they had live birds in there, like parrots, and they had like this waterfall. It was great, and I missed that place. That was a really cool restaurant. 2022 brought back the 90s and the 80s. I've seen a lot of 80s styles being brought back. Which decade style trends do you hope return, and which do you not want coming back? Well, to be honest, I love the style of, I love a lot of like 90s and 80s style. So I've enjoyed seeing that come back to an extent. I think a lot of it's just very bright and colorful and fun. Which do you not want coming back? I can't really say there's any era I don't particularly want coming back. I guess I wouldn't be crazy about like 1950s house dresses and stuff because I don't wear dresses that often. I'm not really crazy about like the ripped blue jean look. I know that that's really, really popular even today, but it's not really my thing. But I don't know. I can't really say I don't want it not coming back, because if I don't like a style, I just don't wear it. I don't care if everybody else is wearing it. I wear what I like to wear. But I've enjoyed seeing like the revival of 90s or even 80s styles. Top artist from Taylor Swift to Beyonce released albums this year. Whose concert are you hoping to score tickets to next year? Next year, I'd really love to go and see Rob Zombie. A lot of people don't know this about me because I don't look like it at all, but I'm a huge, huge metalhead. I'm a metalhead. I love, love, love hard rock, and I really want to go see Rob Zombie next year. My companion goes to see him pretty much every year. He has the same taste in music as me, and I'd love to go with him next year. So yeah, Rob Zombie. What electronic devices do you use most often? Which one would you give up? I use my phone constantly. I use my phone for everything. I even have an app on my phone that helps me grade my students. So I literally work off my phone. So my phone, by far, that's what I use the most often. It's really hard to say what I would give up. I have some radios in the house that I don't use anymore because, again, I listen to music on my phone now. So I guess I could give those up. What's the hardest and best thing about being your age? Well, the best thing about being my age, there's a lot of joys with just being an adult, and I found that I kind of, I feel like I'm just growing into myself, and I know that sounds strange at 35, but I'm still working on my PhD, and until I'm finished with my PhD, I'm kind of limited for what I can do with my career. Like, I want to design curriculums, and and I also want to be able to help students with their dissertations, and a lot of those are higher paying positions that are higher up in academic faculty, and until I actually have my PhD completed, I'm barred from getting into those positions. So even though I'm 35, I'm actually one of the younger students in the PhD courses. That's another thing. A lot of people don't work on a PhD till like in their 40s or 50s. That's very, very common. I'm kind of young. I'm actually, in a lot of my classes, I was the youngest. And now I'm finished with the classes. I'm just finishing up the dissertation now. And I finished my classes with a 4.0 GPA, which is great. So it's good to be close to that finish line. But until I actually finish the PhD, I can't really get into the positions that I really want to be in. And because of that, I feel like my life is still kind of forming at this point. Because once I get those positions, I feel like once I get the PhD and those doors open to me, I'll be able to kind of settle in more into my life and a routine. So I'm still very much a work in progress. But the best thing about being my age is that it's just, I don't know, like I really feel like I know who I am, and it's nice to have the assurance of knowing who you are. You can always surprise yourself, of course, with new hobbies and new interests and uncovered talents, but it's just, it's nice to fundamentally be familiar with yourself and who you are and be happy with who you are. And I know, like, when I never went through any like really huge identity crisis when I was younger, but you know, I think it was more worrying when I was in my 20s or even my early 30s, because it took me a long time to find a full-time job. And now that I have a full-time job, it's really helped me just kind of, you know, my life is just very steady, and just, there's a lot more security, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And I feel like when I finish a PhD, there'll be even more security. So that will be good. But the best thing about being my age is just that I am very confident with who I am, and happy with who I am. Now the hardest thing about being my age, that's a tough question. Honestly, I guess there were certain things that I miss about being a kid. Like, I really miss, I know that this is going to sound funny, but I think some of you may feel the same way. I really miss going into, like, places like big play areas, like Chuck E. Cheese, for example, and being able to jump in the ball pit, or being able to go to the park and just slide down the slide. I think I miss being able to do things like that, like go to the McDonald's play place and go into this, like, the play area. And I really do think that it would be cool to see if you opened up a play area and told, like, adults, okay, from 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can, you know, the play area is yours. How many adults would actually choose to revert back to childhood for an hour and go into the ball pit or go down the slides? It would be an interesting social experiment. But that's what I miss about my age. I kind of miss some of the stuff I did when I was a kid, like that. This one. One way I helped better my community this year is, well, I try to give money to a lot of animal charities, like the Audubon Society, World Wildlife Fund, North Shore Animal League. I also donate to food drives. Like, I give food to the food drives when they're looking for needy communities. I will bring in, like, jars of soup or peanut butter, or even dog food or cat food, because dog food and cat food is really needed in those pantries. So I guess that could count as bettering my community. Yeah, I mean, when I have some extra money to give, and now that I'm working full time, I do have a little bit. I like to be able to do that, to give back a little bit. What food, activity, or tradition did you learn about from a different culture this year? Interesting question. Well, you know, one of my best friends is Indian, and she went to India this year and was showing me pictures from it, and it looked absolutely beautiful. And her family is Hindu, and she was showing me like pictures of the temples and some of the ceremonies, and it looked so beautiful. It looked so marvelous. I really want to go to India one day. And she was just telling me a little bit about the culture and the traditions, and like the rituals and the stories behind them, and it was marvelous. I really enjoyed it. So that was I learned about some traditions in India this year, or from India this year, and that was marvelous. And she also brought me back these beautiful bangle bracelets in all different colors, so that was really cool. Name an activity you'd like to learn. Well, I think I just mentioned I want to learn how to do the exercise dances on the trampoline. That would be fun. So that's an activity I'd like to learn. And I would also, eventually, I want to learn how to speak Spanish. Not now, but when I'm finished with my PhD. When I'm done with the PhD, I'm definitely going to dedicate time to learning Spanish, because I live in New York, and we have so many people here that speak Spanish, that I feel like if I learned the basics of it, I would know enough people, like in day-to-day life, who would be willing to converse with me to strengthen it. So when I'm done with my PhD, I'd love to learn Spanish. So ideally, I'm 35 now. If I finish my PhD this year, hopefully, not this year, 2023, finish my PhD 2023, 2024 at the latest, hopefully it doesn't go to that, then I can start learning Spanish. So hopefully I can speak relatively fluent Spanish by the time I'm 40. That's a goal. Tell the group about a trip you have planned. I don't actually have any trips planned right now, But again, when I finish my PhD, I've got to go back to Ireland. I only have 5 relatives here in the United States. Everyone else is back in Ireland, and I miss Ireland. I'm a dual citizen, so I gotta go back. So when I'm done with my PhD, gotta go back to Ireland. As the player to your left, so I'm asking you guys, which Long Island winter activity are you looking most forward to? So if you don't live on Long Island or near Long Island, just tell me what winter activity period. I love to go ice skating. Sometimes I go into Manhattan and I skate around Rockefeller Center, which is right underneath, like, you know, the big Christmas tree in New York, the big famous Rockefeller tree. There's an ice skating rink underneath that, and you can rent skates, and it's actually not really expensive. Like, the first year I went, I was shocked because a lot of stuff in the city that's considered touristy can be really, really overpriced. Like, there are restaurants on Broadway that will literally charge tourists like $30 for a hamburger. It's crazy. So when I was a teenager was the first time I ever decided to go and try to go ice skating in Rockefeller Center. And I was expecting the charges to be like astronomical, and I was shocked. It was actually not expensive to rent skates. It was very reasonable, and it was a lot of fun. So I try to go back and do that as much as I can, at least once a year. I have not done it yet this year. The tree actually isn't even lit. But what I do is that I wait until like kind of the second week of December. I would never do it Christmas week. I wait for the second week of December, and I go into the city on a weeknight, because like the weekends are insane. But if you go on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, Thursday night, it's really nice and quiet. I found like Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best. It's really nice and quiet, and it's not crowded, and you can go in and get your skates and skate around the ring. So I really love ice skating. I can't do anything fancy, like, you know, twirls or anything. I just skate around the ring, but I can go around the ring without falling. So that's fun. What activity have you still not returned to doing in person, and why? I can't really think of any. I haven't really, because I always taught online. I want to be an online teacher. I want to design online courses. I've been teaching online, and I've been into online education, for years. I mean, years and years, way before the pandemic. So there's really nothing that I haven't returned to doing in person. Yeah, because a lot of stuff I did was online anyway. And I never was really into going to the gym or anything. Like this upcoming dance trampoline class I'm planning to take with my friend will be like one of the first classes I ever actually took at a gym. So yeah, so this doesn't really apply to me. When away from home, what's one thing you miss most about life on Long Island? I miss going for walks just around here. I miss the stores. I miss the shopping. I miss, there's so many nice places to walk around here. I miss that. But then again, when I'm on vacation, I'm also enjoying myself on the vacation. So it's nice to be on vacation, but it's also nice to come home. Group card. Would you rather give up pizza or bagels for a year? Bagels, definitely. I cannot live without pizza. I would go crazy if I went like more than a week or two without pizza. Bagels, if I have like 2 or 3 bagels a year, I'm fine. Name your favorite concert you saw at UBS Arena or Jones Beach Theater. Okay, I've never been to UBS Arena. I really want to go because I've heard it's cool. I've been to the Jones Beach Theater, but not this year. But the favorite concert I saw at Jones Beach Theater, a few years ago, my parents, me, my aunt, and my cousin went to see Rod Stewart, because my parents have been a fan of Rod Stewart. He's a Scottish singer, and my parents have been a fan of him for years, and I literally grew up listening to his music, and I have to say, that was a really good concert. So that was probably the best concert I've seen, and that was at Jones Beach. A few years ago, though, not this year. Ask the person to your right, so I'm asking you guys, what new tradition is your family adding to your holiday celebrations? We don't really have a new tradition, except maybe feeding Max, because we adopted another cat. Last year, we adopted a boy cat named Max on Christmas Eve. So this is actually Max's first Thanksgiving with us. So this will be the first time that we will set out a plate of turkey for Max. So I guess that can be considered a new tradition because it is his first Thanksgiving with us. And the last question, or the last prompt rather. Name a skill you learned this year of which you're proud. I learned to paddleboard, and that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to go back. And it was so cool. And if you've never tried paddleboarding before, I cannot recommend it enough. It's great. So that's the new skill, and I didn't fall off even once. So that's why I had a very good instructor who helped. But it is a new skill because I did not fall off at all. And another thing I'd like to do again is go rock climbing. We have some places around here where you can climb up a rock wall. And I used to do that when I was a kid, but I haven't done it in ages. But it's something I definitely want to do again. So, I don't know if that's really a skill, but whatever, it's a fun activity. It's something to do, and it gets me my exercise, especially in cold weather. Like, I'll probably end up doing that around January when it's too cold to go outside and do anything. There's, like, indoor rock climbing places here. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I hope you're all having a really good day. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you enjoy your turkey. And here are my Thanksgiving/autumn fall nails. And next up will be the first of the Christmas designs. So thank you for watching, and I wish you a good night and very sweet dreams. Hello everybody, so here's my latest piece of art. This one is titled Siren Song of the Roaring Twenties, and it's 11 inches high by 11 inches wide, and it's got a 4-inch depth. And as you can see, like most of my work, it is a sculptural wall hanging. So it's got these hand molded sculptures that have been hand painted little blocks. It got these 3 diamonds here, a bigger diamond over here, and it just has a very prominent look to it. So I hope that you enjoy this, and thank you for watching. Hey everybody, so I just wanted to show you this little happy face wreath that I am submitting to a show at Central Park this year in Manhattan. To basically, it's sort of a Christmas show where everybody makes a piece of art that's inspired by a wreath, so essentially circular, like wreath shaped. And this is mine this year, called Be Happy. It's all happy faces, and we have quotes about happiness all around it. So I'll read them out to you. When what we are is what we want to be, that's happiness. A smile is happiness you'll find right under your nose. One of the secrets of a happy life is continuous small treats. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. There is only one passion, the passion for happiness. The art of being happy lies in the power of extracting happiness from common things. If you want to be happy, be. Try to make at least one person happy every day. There is only one happiness in this life, to love and be loved. Happiness held is the seed, happiness shared is the flower. The best way to be happy is to make each day happy. Every gift from a friend is a wish for your happiness. Happiness depends upon ourselves. The right to happiness is fundamental. Most folks are as happy as they make up their minds to be. The most worthwhile thing is to try to put happiness into the lives of others. And that's it. So in total, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 little quotes about happiness and that wreath. So I wanted to show that to you. And then another project that I finished recently that also involves a quote and is also not my regular style. My regular style is that crazy abstract art. But I also ended up creating this balloon, And this, it's just, it's kind of cardboard, kind of a wall hanging. And this is going to a children's hospital. And I have a quote on here that says, "Try to be a rainbow in someone else's sky." And that's by the poet Maya Angelou. And this is going in a children's hospital on a wall with many others. Essentially, I worked with this organization called Splashes of Hope. They're based out of Long Island. They were giving local artists just blank canvases in the shape of hot air balloons. They gave me one, and I made it look like stained glass, put some colors around the edge, then put the quote in the center. So that's it. I just wanted to show those to you. I love all the colors. Like, see? Red, blue, yellow, red again, green, pink, orange, purple, some black lines, some white down here. This actually makes a really nice sound when you tap on it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed seeing those. I did want to share them with you. And I hope that everybody has a very good night.